y'all. So this video is kind of straight to the point. I just want to talk about my experience with Unitech Training Academy in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, my education, my career, where I started and where I'm at now. So, I mean, just jumping right into it, randomly talking about the school because, I mean, why not? So, Unitech Training Academy 2019, this is pre-COVID, okay? So, regular time. How I ended up in school, it was really crazy. So, y'all, January 2019, I was leaving my job. I was a manager at Arby's. And so it was like 11 o'clock at night. I just so happened to flip my car. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to go into detail. I was driving a 2012 yellow coupe bug, Volkswagen Beetle. It flipped off of a fucking interstate. So I hit a pavement, some sort of little pavement thingy. I don't even know what to call it. I hit that, the car flipped. It actually flipped two more times. Being that it was a convertible, the seats went up to stop the hood from caving in. And on last flip, I landed in a drainage ditch. It was nobody but God, y'all, that drainage ditch was not full of water because it had rained in Baton Rouge and then the whole day. And I just so happened to flip into an empty drainage ditch. Thank God. It wasn't empty, y'all. It was a little bit of water because I was able to, I couldn't find my phone, for one. And so I started screaming, like, hey, Siri. And thank God for Apple because my phone started dinging and I found it on the dashboard. So I called 911. They was asking me where I was. I'm like, well, I don't know because I flipped so far off the highway. I'm in a drainage ditch. Da, da, da. They like, well, can you see any landmarks? And so I was able to, slide my way up out of the car. That's when I realized my leg was messed up. But, the adrenaline, everything going on, y'all, I didn't initially realize that my leg was fucked up. So I told him, as I started moving, I'm in a drainage ditch, mind you. I just was looking around and I'm like, oh my God. For one, there's some big ass holes. So my first thought is, oh my God, they could have animals in them holes. So I started trying to climb on top of the car. Mind you, it's a bug. It's not that big. So once I climbed on the seat, I used one leg to get on the seat, that's when I realized I couldn't step onto my other leg. So at that point, I'm freaking out. But adrenaline, I don't know what it was. I was able to push myself on top of the car. So at that point, I can see the highway a little better. And I'm telling him, all I see is Peterbilt, the trucking company. And he like, okay, you must be, basically in between the cities. So they sent out Denham Springs and they sent out Baton Rouge, fire department, basically trying to gauge my location. Fast forward all of that, I'm gonna have to go into that because that was an experience. But they found me, pulled me out the drainage ditch, put me on the news. I made them take me off, okay? Because they didn't ask me for permission to put me on the motherfucking news in an Arby's shirt. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting helped out of ditch, and that motherfucking shirt said, we have the meats. So just giving you the sum after that day, and I actually lived through that motherfucking, accident. I was like, oh no, who wants to die working at Arby's? This shit has got to go. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm trying to get into a school that I could, something I could start right now. So I ended up finding Unitech. So then I'm like, well, what kind of programs they got? Which one requires me to not have to touch people? And that was pharmacy. So cool. I enrolled. I had that rec January. I was enrolled by February. So I'm on. Basically, that's when I found that I wasn't gonna be able to walk. I was gonna have to do rehab and stuff. Whatever. I started school on crutches. Okay. I started school at Unitech. My experience at Unitech was bittersweet. So when I first started the school, they put you in the program, they sell it, it sounded good. And I'm like, this is perfect. 9 months, this is exactly what I need. So I ended up finding out when I started, I don't remember, detail by detail, but I do remember not having a teacher because I was irritated. This is my first time getting into this. I'm smart, but nigga, pharmacology is new. So I would like to have a teacher. That I guess that wasn't an option. So I want to say it was months. And then they actually, no, it was probably a month or two. And then I met my first teacher. Her name was Miss Parker, right? If Miss Parker would not have came to Unitech that year, I promise I would not be doing pharmacy today. I literally wanted to leave the school so much until that lady came in. She was kind of younger, kind of relatable. When I found out she had a child that was my age, I was like, damn, she actually had children. And a child my age. So I'm like, damn, this lady is young, but at the same time, she's grown. But, I like how she was able to kind of, I don't know, she was just a good person to see in the field, just like a successful person, just like, somebody like me. So I don't know. It was cool to see it. Like I said, if she didn't become my teacher at that time, I would not be in pharmacy today, because she actually talked me through it, let me know the benefits of it, where she went with it, how she went from, being a pharmacy tech to teaching. And it's just so many avenues. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad they brought you here. So, me and her, I actually got, I was not like, outside of school, but I was like looking forward to go to school to actually see her. You know what I'm saying? She made me fool with Unitech program because, again, I started with no teacher. So that was the most ghetto shit ever. Y'all, why I showed up one day and they was like, yeah, Miss Parker just moved to Texas. She not coming back. I was pissed off, but to say the least, because dang, ma'am, I thought we was cool. She didn't even tell me nothing. Like, I don't remember if we like talked about it after that, but I knew it was like, of course, a better decision for her family. I was hurt as a student, but as a person, as a woman, I understood. Like, you got to go, you got to go. So to her, it was a job. To me, girl, you the reason I come to school. Like, but like I said, it still worked out because I'm still a tech today. Fast forward, y'all. So now we back again with no teacher. Self-teaching, basically. You know where you're supposed to be at, and you keep going or you flunk out. At this point, I'm an older financial aid regardless. I had my experience where school was shitty, and I still wasn't able to get no more education because of my shitty experience. So basically, you got to make the best of your experience, because either way it go, you can get shitted on. Whether you got a teacher or not. Like, yes, I just kept on like teaching myself out the book. I would do things online. They had the little app Kahoot. I would stay on Kahoot, and just teach myself. So I ended up getting a teacher named Miss Brown. Y'all, Miss Brown was cool. Like, at first she used to get on my nerves, like just the way she talks, just the way she act. But I ain't lying, she grew on me. Like, you know how they got like, just think about the dingiest person you met that you just can't hate. That's who she was. Like, I used to get mad, but then once I realized, like, this lady not putting on a facade. Like, this is really her. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's smart as hell. She's my teacher, but, you know what I'm saying? The lights on, but ain't nobody home. That was Miss Brown. Cool as fuck, though. Wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Glad we got better. Because, like I said, we was at odds. I realized that college is not like high school. You don't go there to get into it with teachers and you know what I'm saying? You just got to deal with it. This is something that you chose. Like, and you can't control how people you encounter are, I guess, for lack of better terms. So anyway, fast forward, it's 2019. I made it through the program. I ate that up. GPA was great. They actually slacked off on like putting me into the NTHS, the National Technical Honor Society, and other things they offered. They offered to me, and my GPA was high enough, so I made it a point to do my best in school to be a part of these programs. And I think it was something like, oh, well, they forgot to submit or something like that. It was just a lot of unprofessional things going on at the time. Like, I think if I called there today, of course, it would be a whole new staff. It was like that. High turnover rate and stuff like that. Matter of fact, now that I think of it, the reason I went to Unitech is because my cousin was an admissions counselor at the time. By the time I started the school, she was fucking living in another state. So basically, she told me to sign up for Unitech and went ghost on me, okay? But again, thanks to her, because I'm still a tech today. Fast forward that. So COVID came. Okay, at that point I was already working at CVS, but I was working in the front of the store. But I was in school for pharmacy, so I would double in the front and the back. COVID came, they threw a bitch in the back. They like, oh, it's the pandemic. Even if you got a piece of license, we need you back here. So that's basically how that went. Like, my training, my externship, I was employed throughout my externship, and I don't know, I was an essential employee, even though I was a student. I work. So I finished the program, got licensed and everything. But there was no graduation because of COVID and everything. So I say, like, I had already then moved to Texas December 2020. And then they, decided to set up some type of last minute graduation. Family couldn't come. So whatever. I traveled back, walked into graduation just to walk, just because I did it. And that was the end of that. I never heard nothing from Unitech. They don't call you, check on you. I was never a success story. Never talked to them again. Never heard from them again. Nothing. But again, my certification was gravy. I'm still a tech today. I don't got no reason to talk to y'all unless y'all offering me some money or a motherfucking refund. Okay, so next. I'm licensed. I'm working at CVS, y'all. I worked at CVS for a good, I say 3 years total. But to start, the best job I had, I started at CVS on George O'Neill in Baton Rouge. Y'all, working for Mr. Oh my God. How the fuck you want to talk about somebody and forget about their name? Oh, working for Mr. Thibodeau. Oh no, Mr. Carl. See, I ain't calling Mr. Thibodeau. It was Mr. Carl. Okay, Mr. Carl was the first pharmacist that I worked for. And again, that was a good experience. I'm gonna remember everything about me becoming a tech because my experience was just so personal and not personal. Like becoming a tech while in the center of COVID, but I'm glad I was thrown into a smaller pharmacy where they had actual people in there that I could learn from. Like I got thrown into a pharmacy with no drive through, so that was great. It wasn't busy, ain't no crazy hours. We in and out of here, we out of here. The lead tech, oh my God, I hate that I don't remember her name. I just know she was cool as fuck, y'all. And so was her, the other tech that was there. Her name was Malia. That was cool. I just had a good experience getting thrown into pharmacy. I had good people around me that actually wanted to see me excel, giving me gems, giving me tips, and just letting me watch them, and, it was just great. My experience in becoming a tech. So I would give that part a 10 out of 10. I want to say that Louisiana is like bottom of the map when it comes to everything. Quality of people, quality of life, you know what I'm saying? Just living, the way you get paid. Louisiana ain't good for nothing but the music and the food, and because obviously I don't know what the hell people come here for besides the music and the food. You know what I'm saying? And that's becoming yeah, whatever. Again, I'm from Louisiana. I can say what I want, but when it came time to pay, like when it comes time to pop people off, they the ones who close the purse strings. You know what I'm saying? They pull them the hardest. So I don't like that about Louisiana. Like y'all bottom of the barrel, but whatever. So when I was working at CVS, I say it now because again, that was like what 6-7 years ago. They started me off at like fucking $12 or $13. Again, that's not big girl money. It's not big girl money at all. Um, and I feel like things you go to school for, whether it be 9 months, whether it be 9 fucking years, I don't care. I feel like there are levels to shit. And if you take the steps to put yourself in a position to kind of excel or exceed those expectations on the bottom levels, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm on an upper level now. I'm not cashier worthy. I'm licensed in the state. I know HIPAA. I know pharmacology. I don't want to make $12. You know what I'm saying? Because if I could have made $12, I could have skipped getting all this motherfucking school debt and just came and got, you know what I'm saying? Don't play with me or my intelligence. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I felt when it came to Louisiana. So when I was making, they offered me, I was making $12. Once I finished and got certified, they offered me another dollar. So they were offering me $13.25 to be a pharmacy technician in the state of Louisiana. I accepted and I took it. And while I took it, 2 months later, after that license was finalized, I moved to Texas. And I was offered $17.75 to do the same job for the same company. And I know people like to say like, oh, the cost of living, blah, 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 blah. When you compare Louisiana to anything, they're always the bottom of the barrel. Like I'm talking about you can go anywhere else and have better options as far as living and stuff like that. Like Louisiana, you could pay $1,000 for a trailer in the middle of bumfuck, near nowhere, near no roads, no resources, no nothing. You could pay $1,000 for a luxury apartment. You know what I'm saying? It's a jack either way. Whatever your lifestyle, they're gonna find a way to fuck you, and that's just how Louisiana works. Now, I'm not saying that like other places are just so much better, but in my experience, it was better. To every one complex Louisiana has, Texas got fucking 20. Okay, so your options are very different when you go from one place to the next. So nobody gonna make me think that the cost of living and blah blah blah. Like nah, I paid less when I was living in Houston for a nicer apartment than I had when I was in Louisiana. So again, it's just all about your experience. I can say that, well, I guess Louisiana is better with benefits. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, they bottom of the barrel. You get food stamps just for looking out there, but Texas don't play that shit. We not giving you nothing until you fit a certain stereotype that I'm not gonna bring up right now because that's not what this is about. So yeah, no matter your education level or stuff like that, it's just all about your experience and where you want to land. Because again, I started making $17.75 out here. I have not made under $23 in I say 4 years. And again, that's not that ain't the end all be all. That's not the end of my journey for sure. Like in next year or so, I plan to be making probably like double what I started because I'm in college right now and I'm pursuing a degree and I'm also like, 5 years on my job. So with every year, my pay does increase. And you know, I love that. So just climbing the ladder, I can say starting from $12 in Louisiana to making a minimum of 21 an hour. That's the starting. That's what you're gonna start me with. At if anything, that's the least I'll take from you. And that's just being fair because I know it's a competitive market right now. Like, I'm not gonna act like, oh, well, give me 30 because I've been a tech. No, it's plenty of people out here that been a tech. I'm reasonable, but once I show you what I can do, I expect an increase. Like, that's just me though. But that's the, you know, that's the foundation I set for myself being a pharmacy technician. I wouldn't take that back. Nobody can take that from me. So I would say that just my experience with Unitech, being a shitty community, a shitty college, you know what I'm saying, not reaching out to you during or after your experience, like just the whole thing altogether. Like, I don't even know who owns Unitech, but they still open, so they must be thriving in one way or another. But just as far as like the foundational or actually the support as a well, it's not a university, but a technical school community, like, it's not there. They about the money. Like, the way that I was explained to, even the cost of the program, I'm still in debt behind that program, and it literally was 9 months. um but you know, to each his own. I spent 9 months without a teacher and still owe like 15,000 on the education. That part is a scam. I do know that you can become a tech without the educational background, but whatever being made, my path was my path. I still haven't paid the money. I'm gonna pay it when I pay it, but I still wouldn't change that for nothing. But yeah, y'all, that was just a random like rundown. I do promote pharmacy to anybody who will ask. Like, if you want a career with like job stability, job security, and something that will never end, because as humans, we're gonna always need doctors, drugs, pharmacies. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna always need medication. That's never gonna stop. AI cannot take away pharmacy. It can't. Like, it can, you know what I'm saying, take away a lot of positions and catalysts and middlemen. But as far as like drug to people, you're gonna always need that human interception in that. Like, you cannot AI a prescription at all. So yeah, y'all, we not going nowhere. If you were going to school to be a pharmacy tech, I would not recommend Unitech just based off my experience. But again, that was almost 7 years ago. They probably the shit now. I don't know. They don't reach out to the people that graduated from there. Yeah, y'all. So fuck with me. Keep up. I'm gonna talk about something else later.